You're not all, you know why you're all quiet down? We're going to talk about this lack of self-esteem. That's why you're all fucking poor. And you even get more quiet. And during the seminar, when I poke fun at Chinese, black, Muslim, whatever, and then you smile, you laugh. That's lack of self-esteem. Why would you laugh when I make fun of a black man if you're black? Why would you laugh if I make fun of a Canadian if you're Canadian? Why would you laugh if I make fun of a Chinese person if you're Chinese? Why? Because you got no fucking self-esteem. Where I come from, you jump out and you punch a guy in the face. This is just the beginning, and I'm in a good mood too. Why would you laugh if I say you're a fucking Jew from Israel? You smile, you shouldn't even smile. This is why you are where you are. This is why 98-point-some% flunked the super success test and 96.4% flunked the success test. The success test, we ask the question, if somebody spit in your wife's face, what would you do? The predominant answer by you spineless cunts is I would ascertain where he was in his life that day and if he was having a bad day or not. Can you fucking imagine that? I would try to ascertain if he was having a bad day. Where I come from, you would either find a brick, if you weren't tough enough yourself, I would find a brick, a pipe, or a knife, and I would beat the cocksucker to death or die trying. That's the difference of where we are today. I was telling one of the kids that I interviewed so far, what is the difference between the 90s and today? Other than, in the 90s, we took your cell phones away. In the 90s, you were locked down like in prison. In the 90s, we had no mentor program. In the 90s, we had no Google fuck, no link fuck, no tweet fuck. We had none of that. And we produced billionaires. Now, we have every fucking thing other than I go out and hold your dick with one hand, for those of you, or hold your vagina with one hand, and do the deal with the other hand. Other than that, now I do everything for you. And we produce less results. Why is that? Because you're all spineless cunts now. That's why. We're booked up this year, all the Castle seminars. We have enough people booked up for next year, and we haven't even announced the Castle seminar. I'm not sure I'm going to give any. We have people that have already paid money for the Castle seminar. They don't care what it fucking costs for next year. And the prices are going to go up if I do give one. Hence, before I discovered social media because of Brian QLA Rose and London Real, 5 years ago, Easter, I was interviewed by Brian Rose on his program. Some of you, it was the first time you ever heard about me, or the world had ever heard about me, really. And we had 3,000 people that came to my site a month in April of 2014. Half of those 3,000 were repeats, meaning we had 1,500 a month that came to the site. 50 a day. Last month, we had 10,000 people came to the site daily. 70 to 75% of those were new. 25 to 30% were repeats. This year, I gave a seminar every month to try to, thinking naively I could keep up with demand. Giving seminars daily only increased demand. Never underestimate how wrong you can be. So I decided in the last few weeks, with my crack staff, crack, because crack is like crap. Someday there's crap and someday there's crap. How do I fulfill that demand? I'm never going to be able to give enough castle seminars. Never. Never going to happen. As worthless as you are, as spineless as you are. So I decided that I would go do a retro. And I would give a seminar, as I did in the 90s, a one-day seminar at an airport, which I haven't done this century. So January 18th, 2020, I will give, again, a one-day seminar at Heathrow Airport at the Sofitel Hotel. I haven't done that in 20 years. And so I announced it at the TED Talk a week ago today. And we're almost sold out, 1,000 seats. And why do these poor cocksuckers, why do they come to me? Because when you come to me, I am your last fucking hope. You've tried everything else, sweetheart, and it's all failed. You've tried every goddamn thing known on the motherfucking planet, and you fucking failed. I am the last town, on the last saloon, on the last street, on the edge of the world, and the edge of the world is flat. You tried every fucking thing known to man and failed. And yet you come to me. Why? Because your parents did a shitty job, you had poor role models, your parents were spineless cunts. And we have a 60% fallout rate. 60% of you are going to fall out of the mentor program. And we stopped counting at 60% because we don't want to say 90%. If I said 100% fail, you'd still be here. The world, it's irretrievable. The world is going in the shitter. In our one-day seminar, the one-day seminar I'm going to give next year, on January 18th at the Sofitel Hotel, finally, I've lived long enough. I'm an overnight success after 50 fucking years. Finally. And I thank Brother Trump, who, full disclosure, I knew in another lifetime, because of his alpha male shit personality has rubbed off, the tsunami has rubbed off on my teachings that I've been given 50 years. You may love him or hate the President of the United States, but he's fucking right. God knows he's right. We should have been sticking our fucking ass up, our foot up the ass of the Chinese for 50 motherfucking years. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of collateral damage. A lot of poor fucking farmers. That's too fucking bad. I hope your families are hurt by this. Who's the fucking guy from Utah? You a Mormon? Okay. Well, you got one thing for you. Okay, at least you're not a fucking Mormon. Mormons are hard work. Muslims are hard work. Jews are hard work. Over-religious people are hard work. Blacks are hard work. Especially Haitian blacks. Because you had poor role models. And when we talk about, everybody in this room either has a daddy problem or a mommy problem. Some of you, unfortunately, have both daddy and mommy problems. You're doubly blessed. And when you find out how I was raised different, even though I come from a fucking gangbanger barrio background, barrio bad boy, by the grace of Allah, by the grace of Buddha, by the grace of whoever the fuck you want to put the blame on, my parents did some shit right. From an environment that was all shit. And whereas your parents, that gave you a loving and nourishing background, which was wrong. And we've had fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, grandchildren here. And when you ask it, man, is that normally the grandparents and the parents sob through the whole seminar. Because their two excuses are, You don't know what you don't know. And Mr. B, we did the best we fucking knew how. Out sand the fucking part. Well, doing the best you knew how isn't a fucking good excuse, is it? You sorry, spineless pieces of shit. And if anybody likes me in this room at the end of the seminar, I didn't do my fucking job. Because I'm going to beat you, metaphorically speaking, like your fucking parents should have done. And for the old pieces of tubs of shit in the room, the chances of you succeeding are slim and none and slim left town. Because the chances of you changing your fact patterns are next to zero. So when I say I'm the last chance, I'm the last hope saloon, I am it. I mean it. I mean it. Tonight I heard from a few of you, from some of my mentees that steal my name, steal QLA, steal the metaphors I use, steal the examples I use, that are basically stealing from you. Stealing from you. And for those of you that have kept track of what I post on social media, I recently shamed and brought out a guy's name. His name is Shane Stamford, who's a fucking deadbeat fucking bum. Well, I'm going to make some other announcements about this deadbeat fucking bum, dating back 10 or 12 years, where he has danced with tax fraud, jail, and ostensibly got arrested on the 21st of May. When I call you a deadbeat fucking bum, and when I say I'm going to run you down until I take your fucking mother's house away, I fucking mean it. And some of you in this room have been in touch with that cocksucker. Some of you in this room are part of his secret Facebook society. You should be fucking ashamed. Because one of the precepts of QLA is investigate before you invest time and or money. And you have not. I'm going to beat that. I won't be happy till I take his fucking Fiat 1996 Fiat away from him. You understand what I'm saying? So when you fuck with the big boys, you better learn how to mambo. You better learn how to take it up the ass. Because when you fuck with somebody with money, you're fucked. And Shane, you're fucked. Just like I said 3 or 4 months ago. You can run, but you can't hide, you cocksucker. And this is how high performance people work. Contrary to what you've been trained. Love doesn't get the fucking job done. There's not a man or woman or it in this room, and we might have a couple its. I don't give a shit what you are. What you do under the sheets, well, I kind of care in this house. But anyway, that's a whole other story, which we'll keep off camera. What you do vis-a-vis QLA and what you do vis-a-vis besmirching my name, I do care about. And I will run you down like a fucking dog. This is the first time I ever said this on YouTube. But at least anybody doesn't understand. You besmirch QLA or my brand, I will run you down. I will kill your fucking goldfish. And starting tomorrow morning, by the way, the seminar is in the pavilion about 120 meters down the road. There are such things as stupid questions. If you ask me fucking questions that you should have learned in the shit I told you to read, I will humiliate you. I just got off a couple hours ago a webinar, Ask Dan. It was insulting. The stupidity of these poor fucks that ask me questions. So there are, contrary to what you've been told, there are such things as stupid questions. I expect you to have read the fucking shit that you did. And by the way, if you miss one homework assignment here, you're out of the program. You have written homework tonight, starting tonight. If you miss weekly reports, you're out of the program. If you miss Zoom calls, you're out of the program. If you piss me off, you're out of the program. That's why the mentor program is free. So I can throw your sorry asses out whenever I want. Because this is the real world I come from. And by the way, I did a study before I spoke at my TED Talk. By the way, TED Talks are normally 18 minutes long. Mine was over 3 hours because I wouldn't talk for 18 minutes. I can't wipe my ass or say good hello in 18 minutes. And thankfully, the Dutch university that sponsored me allowed me my 3 hours. But I told them, based on the questions I got before the seminar, before the talk, just how many alpha males have I trained? How many alpha males are the billionaires? And I can say with my hand on my heart, only one of the alpha males I personally know, I didn't train, one of the billionaires that I know and didn't train is an alpha male. And only one of the many on the Hall of Fame that I did train, like God made them, is kind of a pretend alpha male. He's not a real alpha male. He likes to pretend he's an alpha male. So that means all of you have hope. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk all have one thing in common. They are introverts like you. 99% of the high-performance people on the planet all have one thing in common. They're introverts. Only 1% of us are loud-mouthed psychopaths like me. But most of you have been trained by, shall I say, less than. And that's why you're here. Tonight is the beginning of the rest of your life, and it will change you, I assure you. Even for those of you that don't become billionaires, even for those of you that don't become multimillionaires, your life has changed forever. Forever. Is it time to eat? Okay. Now, I sent you a link about silverware. So when you go in the room, you don't sit down, guys. The girls sit down first. And then when I tell you to sit down, that's when the fuck you sit down. And when I tell you to reach for your silverware and you work from the outside in, from the top down, not like the pigs that you've been raised with. We have thrown people out of the seminar at the dinner table. Dinner is served.
Dinner served.